ISBN, Innovative Manufacturers. They're supposed to be sitting here. So in the meantime, we proceed with
Yes.
Your Honor,
Just to pick it from where we left yesterday, the Honorable Court had directed that, Your Honor, I want to confirm that we have since been supplied with those documentation. However, Your Honor, we have been supplied with additional documents other than what was expected. Your Honor, we have in our possession, I have in my possession, an inventory of 10 documents, including a witness statement of one James Deuri Munyo. Your Honor, it is a challenge for me to actually trace the said statement within the bundle that has just been supplied. And I find it prejudicial, Your Honor, for us to have been supplied with additional documentations, pre-trial having already taken place. I note that this court has accommodated the prosecution, and so has the defense in terms of provision of additional documentation. However, Your Honor, we humbly request that the same indulgence be afforded to the defense, that if documents are supplied right before we proceed for a hearing, reasonable opportunity be afforded for the defense to look at the documentation, take instructions, noting that most of the documents pertain to my client, the second accused person, including documents from NCPB. Your Honor, while it might be argued that the documents do not in any way relate to the witness who stood down, practice is that we don't interfere with the prosecution's case, and they equally don't interfere with the defense strategy. Your Honor, I humbly make an application that I be afforded an opportunity to look at the documents that are before you, that are before myself, and supplied this morning, before we proceed with the hearing. In the interest of justice, that is all, Your Honor.
Any other counsel who has assisted the issue? Or any other issue?
With my colleague, Mr. My colleague, Mr. Ashira. And I have really nothing useful to add except that to ask that we really need to get time to look at the documents, and whether they relate to this witness or another, we will never know. We don't know until we look at them.
Your Honor, on behalf of the third accused person, first is to note that we are very keen and anxious to have this matter proceed and come to a just conclusion as soon as is possible and feasible. But based only on the documentation, quite complicated. And it would not fit in the ends of justice for us to rush this matter through when there are concerns regarding, and I say this with utmost and tremendous respect to the prosecution, concerning how the documents are being supplied to the defense team or the defense counsel. We have also similarly just been supplied with some fresh documents today that we did not have before. And in the little time that we have had, we are trying to focus as much as we can on today's witness, but we realize that the accused. So on behalf of Mr. Katwa-Kigen and myself, I adopt a similar position as Mr. Washida. We are of the opinion that perhaps, because when justice is delayed, it's justice denied, the prosecution moved a bit too quickly in setting this matter down for hearing. It would appear to me quite obvious now that we were not ready for pre-trial. And if we were, then the circumstances have changed, requiring that we perhaps reconsider whether we should not first have another pre-trial so that we ensure that everything is settled, all documents are properly labeled, counsel has everything that the prosecution has or intends to use as is required by the rules on the discovery. And so that we have a smooth running of the matter and we stop having this situation where we have to keep standing down witnesses because we are not clear on one thing or the other related to the evidence that is being presented. So based on what we saw yesterday, and again based on what we have seen this morning, we would take the similar position with Mr. Washida, that perhaps there is need to reconsider whether pre-trial should not be first and foremost properly exhausted before we proceed to hearing. That is all.
And this is a right to fair hearing that is a right of accused person. To have adequate time and facility to prepare for defense. Also, I forgot to use this and would be referring to these documents. I've got no objection